A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I had some people ask me about making a video that talked about the advantages to solo travel. And so I have a few things in mind that I want to do, but I'm finally getting around to starting that process. In a nutshell, traveling alone simply means that you can finally win every argument about where you want to go and what you want to do because you're the only one with whom you're going to debate. And second, one of the main reasons to travel solo is the fact that whether you are an Arctic Circle dweller or a Sahara Desert dweller in the hotel room, you don't have to argue about where you set the thermostat at night. But seriously, though, my mom will ask me quite often, do you really like traveling alone? And the simple answer to that is yes. Yes, I do. But really, I think there are a few things that solo travel brings to the table, whether you are young or old, married or single, or retired or still working. I think that traveling alone allows you to embark on a journey of self-discovery where you can better understand yourself, your interests, and even your limits without the influence of friends or family or others around you. You get to choose the activities that truly resonate with you and explore your own preferences wherever you go, whether that is exploring new foods, which is always my favorite thing to do, or exploring more adventurous kind of activities, which is not my thing at all. I think about it sometimes, but I never quite get the gumption to go skydiving or parasailing or any of those kinds of things. Or, whether it's you want to look at cultural things like art museums and churches and, portrait galleries, which I absolutely love all of those things. I could go spend the entire day just doing that. It is an opportunity for you to do some self-reflection and explore some personal growth. I think one of the greatest advantages of traveling alone is the unparalleled sense of independence that it offers. You have the power to plan your itinerary, and you have the power to make decisions based solely on what you want to do and what you desire to see. So whether you want to be spontaneous and go with the flow, or whether you want to stick strictly to an itinerary that you built 6 months ago, and by golly, you're going to do all of that. Whatever that is for you, you can do that. And that freedom allows you to sort of fully embrace and experience and create a journey that is uniquely yours. In addition, I think solo travel grants you the ultimate flexibility to adapt and change plans on the fly. You might have an unexpected event going on when you show up that you didn't know about. And, if you're stuck with plans already made with other people, you may never get to go see that. And so it allows you to sort of seize these moments without hesitation, whether it's stumbling upon a local festival or, going through a market you didn't know existed, or discovering a hidden gem sort of off the beaten path, which is what my next trip to Rome is pretty much going to be about entirely, is finding those unexpected places I didn't know existed. You can make your own decisions and easily adjust your schedule to make the most of your experience when you travel alone. I totally missed out on this opportunity when I visited Assisi, Italy, and I'm still sort of beating myself up about it. My second flight, my layover flight, was oversold by a bunch, and they were begging for people to take some sort of monetary payment, get a free hotel room, a voucher for food, and fly out the next day. But I had an itinerary, and the last trip I made to Rome, I spent without my suitcase, and I wasn't going to have this trip interrupted again. But when they got up to, we are still needing 2 people to make a plane change to tomorrow, and we will pay you $5,000 plus a free hotel room, plus your food, I was like, holy crap. Just how important is it that I get there on this particular day? And I hesitated and I waited. We were on the plane when they were offering this. And somebody about 6 rows in front of me took advantage of it, got off the plane, their lives forever changed. And if that ever happens to me again, I'm taking the money and running. That's just the long and the short of it. Solo travel is a transformative experience that can greatly contribute to your own personal growth and development. Navigating through unfamiliar territory, facing challenges, overcoming adversities and obstacles. When I traveled to Rome in March a few years ago and we had an unexpected ice storm, my plane was delayed 6 hours. My entire flight itinerary fell apart. And when I finally landed in Atlanta and I had missed my connection by hours, I had to get on the phone and I had to talk to people and I had to figure out where I was going. I couldn't go curl up in a corner somewhere and let somebody else figure this out for me. I had to step up to the plate. And it will do a lot, traveling solo, to boost your confidence, your self-reliance, your resilience, your problem-solving skills. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and forces you to truly rely on your abilities. That's a scary thing sometimes. But as you conquer new territories and navigate through different cultures, you become more adaptable and more open-minded about life in general. And those 2 traits lead to huge personal growth. And, solo travel provides solitude and ample time for you to just sit down and think. It allows time for introspection. It allows you to reflect on your life goals even and gain clarity and perspective. It offers a chance for you to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of your daily routines, and it provides a peaceful place for you to just sit and reflect. People watch if you want to. Think about where you're going next. Think about what the meaning of life is for you. Whether it's sitting on a secluded bench or hiking through some serene landscapes or simply enjoying a quiet moment in the middle of a bustling city, like sitting down around a fountain in Piazza Navona that is full of people, but can be yours all by yourself. This was the main purpose of my trip to Assisi that I made. I didn't just want to visit churches. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to soak it in. And I thought about where my life was at that moment. I thought about my own relationship with my maker. I thought about how impactful the life of Francis and Claire were. It just gave me an opportunity to do a lot of serious thinking in the midst of having a vacation. And this reflection time can be invaluable for reevaluating your priorities or making important life decisions or gaining even just a deeper understanding of yourself. And equally important, I think, is the fact that solo travel provides you with complete control over your expenses. This is one of those things that I hear from people, friends of mine, that travel somewhere with, if it's a couple and they travel with another couple, and the other couple is a little better off financially than they are, and you're struggling trying to pay for the hotel bill where they wanted to stay, or you're struggling with the food costs at the restaurants they want to go to, or vice versa. If you are the more wealthy of the two couples, you don't have to worry about, well, do I need to sacrifice what I really want to do because I'm afraid this couple can't afford this? All of those decisions go out the window without having to consider the preferences of other people. You get to choose accommodations, transportation, dining options, all of those things that align with your own financial goals and priorities. For me, in the next trip that I'm planning back to Rome and then to Florence, I'm prioritizing dates based on when is the cheapest airline ticket. And then I am looking at where am I going to stay based on how can I get the best point value from my Hilton Honors card so that I can stay for free for a few nights. I can't do that if I am traveling with somebody else. So whether you prefer budget-friendly hostels and street food, or if you want to go with luxury accommodations and fine dining experiences, you have the freedom to allocate your resources any way you see fit. This level of budget control ensures that your travel experience remains within your means, and it allows you to make the most of your financial resources without coming home deeply in debt, because nobody wants to do that. I think that traveling alone opens up a world of adventure and exploration that may not be possible when you're traveling even just with a spouse or another companion. You have the freedom to pursue activities and destinations that truly align with your interests and passions. So whether that's embarking on some adrenaline-pumping adventure like zip lines or bungee jumping or skydiving, or whether it's exploring remote and off-the-beaten-path destinations, or it's indulging in unique cultural experiences, solo travel allows you to curate your own adventure. And you can embrace all of that, the thrill of the unknown, and push your boundaries and discover hidden gems that may not be of interest or resonate with your spouse or your kids or any other couples you might travel with. This sense of adventure sort of adds an extra layer of excitement and fulfillment, I think, into your solo travel experience. You know, I have a family trip planned to Scotland, and there will be 14 of us on this trip. We will be sitting and standing and talking on top of one another for 9 days. And I have made a point that for the first part of our trip is going to be on the Isle of Skye, and we're sort of stuck doing everything together. And there are certain places I want everybody to see and experience, and I want to enjoy watching them experience that. But then the second half of our trip is in Edinburgh, and in Edinburgh, I have one thing planned for us together, and that's for all of us to go to the Edinburgh Castle. After that, I have made it a point, I've made it very clear to all 3 of my daughters and my nephew that's going. The trip is yours. You go do what you want to do. And if there's something you want to do that the kids can't go do, I'll take care of being the babysitter. I want you to go have your trip when we get to Edinburgh. Whatever is interesting to you. I've got a son-in-law that wants to go golfing one day. Great. When we went to London together a few years ago, 2 of them went fishing. That's another story all to itself. But I think it's important that this not be my trip for the family. It is their trip. I want them to make it their trip. And at the same time, I get time to myself to do whatever it is I want to do as well. You know, that was sort of what happened when we went to London. And I had one full day that I went out to do nothing but photography all around the city of London. It was just me. And they knew it was coming, and they didn't care. They had their own thing they were going to do that day. But it wasn't something that, we made a trip and everybody had to go do the same thing and have the same experience and come back with the same memories. That is not the way to travel. All of these things, I think, make it sound like a good idea, maybe even a necessary idea, to plan at least one short time on your own. Find out what you really love. And if you're on a week-long vacation with the family, try to build in one day, one full day, to go do what you want to do without having to worry about whether your husband or your wife or your kids or your significant other or any other relatives that might be along. You don't have to worry an iota about what they think, do, or care. But if possible, I encourage you to plan at least a full weekend, if not a full week, alone somewhere. Doesn't have to be overseas. It can be, like I live in Chattanooga, it could be Nashville. It's 2.5 hours away. Go to a mountain cabin. We have those outside Chattanooga. We've got cabins on Lookout Mountain. They're a 20-minute drive from here. Go to a mountain cabin and just read. Or go to a national park and go hike, or go overseas and soak up a brand new culture. Go somewhere you've never been before. Get lost. With your iPhone's GPS, you're going to be able to find your way back to the hotel, so don't worry about that. Find that out-of-the-way cafe around the corner and down the back street that's going to have a cappuccino unlike any you've ever had before. Sit down in a local plaza with street food and just people watch while you enjoy a very inexpensive lunch. Search out that perfect plate of pasta, which is what I'm going to do when I'm in Rome. And if I may make just a small suggestion, record it. Not just a picture of your food or, a selfie in front of some place, or a short TikTok-style video inside a church. Talk to the camera. Spill out your thoughts. Let others know the emotions you're feeling at this moment. Describe the scene. Because who knows? Maybe you'll want to start a YouTube channel. And if you do, let me know. Because I will be your first subscriber. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.